All right, we live. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Yo, how's everybody feeling out there? Today is the midterm elections, which is going on all over the place. And if you guys go over to What's the 411 News and subscribe there, I might be going live later on to do the midterm election results. So if y'all guys go to What's the 411 News, and I may do it, I may not, but we'll have to just see. Just depends. But today we're going to kind of talk about the Biden administration and the Democratic ops. I'm going to talk a little bit. I might show some videos. And, get commentary as normal. So hopefully you guys be able to hear me over my air conditioner. I turned it down just a little bit. So hopefully, I think you will be able to hear me. All right. So let's enjoy, man. Let's have some fun. You're rocking with the best thoughts of the week. You know what this is, man. Let's get it.
I wanna rock with you, dance you in today. I wanna rock with you. We're gonna rock the night away. Out on the floor, there ain't nobody there.
You're rocking with the best Thoughts of the Week podcast.
Yes, indeed. You're rocking with the best Thoughts of the Week podcast. You know? And yeah, today's the midterm elections. A lot of it's appearing when it comes to black people. A lot of black folks are waking up to understanding and finally observing that when they vote blue, no matter who, all the way down the line, they're finding out that they're not really getting anything back in return. All right. So there are a lot of people who have awakened, and I'm sure there will still be a lot of people who will be out here sleeping and still continue to just, because they've been fed that the Republicans are just so bad for blacks. Not to say that I'm not caping for Republicans at all, but the point I'm making is that black folks have been really, I say programmed, but probably I say more trained to vote Democrat, and they're trained so badly, or maybe so goodly, to continue voting Democrat for what? For nothing. Just to get constant disrespect in a number of ways. All right. So, I've talked about this on several podcast episodes. I probably spoke on this on the news channel, which is What's the 411 News. So you guys go over there and subscribe. You can actually find it on the YouTube channel here. So you can also get What's the 411 News on Facebook as well, and Twitter and Twitch, I believe. All right. So we might be doing a live broadcast maybe on What's the 411 News a little later on. Maybe, I don't know for sure. I might not do it, but you guys want to still subscribe to that channel nonetheless. Whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch, you might want to go ahead and subscribe to that as well. Because even if I don't do anything today on that channel, we're still going to be doing a lot of news coming up. But again, black people have been trained to just vote blue no matter who. All right. They're not voting for what's in their best interest. They're not voting their interest. They're just voting. A lot of them are voting out of tradition of my grandmama voted Democrat, my mama, my uncle, my granddad, my cousins. And sad about it, a lot of people go out here and they walk around with the I voted button on their shirts or I voted button in their pictures. And it's sad, man. It's really embarrassing, to be honest with you. It's super embarrassing to just go out there and say, have a button on your shirt and take pictures and post it on social media. Look, I voted. And then when you ask them voted for what, they can't tell you what they voted for. They just want to let you know they voted because that's some type of status symbol. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's such a status symbol. I voted. And again, to eat, if that's what you want to do, that's cool. But I say at this point, it's really embarrassing to just do that. And what you're going to end up finding out is they're going to do the same things again. They already in progress with doing things. They giving money to Ukrainians, and people are saying, "Oh, that's to help them fight the war," but they're allowing Ukrainian people to come over here and benefit. They've put out billions of dollars to Ukraine for a lot of things, on top of the military, giving them military weapons and stuff like that. There's other things they're giving them money for. It's so sad that one of the HBCUs was offering that Ukrainian people could get free schooling. I ain't gonna mention which one. You need to go to What's the 411 News channel on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or Twitch to get that news. It's available there, which HBCU offered Ukraine free education. And I'm wondering if they gave the same thing to the black students, right? It's kind of interesting how they allowed that, they was down to let that happen and not give the same conveniences or courtesies to black students. Again, Afghans, Ukrainians, illegal immigrants coming over the border, Hispanics, allowing them. I think one city might have already voted to allow them to vote, and they're illegal now. They're not allowed to even be in this country. Allow them to vote in local elections. You hear me? Allow them to vote in local elections. In one city, I think. They tried it in New York, but I think a lot of people wasn't with that, so they shut that down. The American Indian, the $5 or the $2 Indian, for those who know that term, what that means, they're allowing the $2 Indians, they give the $2 Indians money every year. The 5 main tribes, which a lot of them are just white people. They're not really the real Indians. For those who don't know, they had a thing called the Dawes Rolls or the Dawes Scrolls, however you want to put it, which allowed white people to pay under the table to be put on those Indian rolls and to be able to say they are Indian. So a lot of these Indians that you see out here are really white people, and their ancestors were white people as well. Shout out Elizabeth Warren, because she's one of them. She's not a real Indian, but she tried to benefit from that. And this is what they did back then. And so you have them, you have the illegal immigrants, again, I mentioned, coming across the border. They're being housed in fine housing facilities, if you will, allowed to have nice food. There was also a thing where, I don't know if it was in California or somewhere, where a lot of Hispanics demanded $30 an hour for Uber. I know you heard about that story, right? And so there's a lot of things going on, man. So we got Raphael in Georgia, Raphael Warnock versus Herschel Walker going down. Some people are predicting that Herschel Walker's going to get it. If y'all seen the debate between them two, it was kind of funny. And Herschel surprisingly actually looked like he won that debate, the only debate they had. And then of course you got Stacey Abrams and old dude, I forget his name, Kemp in Georgia, running for governor. And you know, these black folks, Stacey Abrams, Raphael Warnock, they are not wanting to they're not down with reparations. And it's sad because Raphael Warnock supposedly comes out of the Ebenezer Baptist Church, from the same church Martin Luther King came out of. And even in an old video, even Dr. King said we're going to Washington, D.C. to get our check. But Raphael Warnock, who kind of hails and comes from that stock, if you will, from that church background, doesn't even feel the same way. And you might have seen the podcast episodes where I played that video. Might have been one or two podcast episodes before this one, where you've seen Warnock was asked a question about reparations, and he danced around it, everything, and didn't mention reparations, but mentioned everything else under the sun. And this is how these Democratic ops operate. All right, so real quick, I'm gonna play this video. I'm sure some of you are for real familiar with this one. And this is just to let you know, maybe set the stage. The stage already been set. But for those who still continuing to vote Democrat, this is what you're going to get. Check this out.
Do you support reparations for black people?
Well, listen, again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination and segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal footing in this country. And in particular...
Hold on, I'm going to play that back. You seen that black lady? Look at her like chick, you full of SH. You full of ish. You see how she was looking at Kamala or Kamala, the Ugandan giant? Anyway, you see how a girl was looking at her like, you know, you full of ish, Kamala. I'm gonna play it again. Look at the girl's face, the one who was interviewing Kamala. Some of y'all say it's Kamala. I'm calling her Kamala. Watch the girl's face. She's looking at her like, you full of BS.
Do you support reparations for black people?
Well, listen, again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination and segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal footing in this country. And in particular, black people have not. And so we have got to recognize that and do something about that and give folks a lift up. That's why, for example, I'm proposing the LIFT Act. Give people who are making $100,000 or less as a family a tax credit, which will benefit and uplift 60% of black families who are in poverty.
So by default, it affects Black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you would explore.
But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit Black children, Black families, Black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing it. Listen, the reality also is this: any policy that will benefit Black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No, because whatever benefits that Black family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country. Right?
All right, there you go. There you go. I'm not going to do something that's going to only benefit Black people. No. But guess what? They doing something that specifically benefits LGBT. When it came to the Afghans, they did something specifically for the Afghan people. They doing something specifically for Ukrainian people. They doing something specifically for the illegal immigrants, the Hispanics coming across the border. They ain't do it for anybody else. Guess what? The American Indians, the white Indians, they do something specifically for them every year. And I don't have the video today, and I might play it at a future time. I might not. You can go research it. Take my word for it, however you want to look at it. I'll try my best to bring the truth to you and not bring up say something and then you find out it's not true. But there's a video out, or there was a video out. I could probably get a hold of it. It still should be out. Where I think it's a female. Her name, she had a Twitter name of Bear something, Tall Bear or something to that effect. She even wrote on her Twitter page. I don't think it's a video. It's a Twitter feed, if I'm not mistaken. But there's a video somebody talking about her posting that Twitter feed. That she even stated herself, she's an Indian herself, and that Indians get paid so much dollars every year. Not no little baby dollars, not $2 and $3, probably in the millions every year. All right. That's every year. That's specifically for them. And Kamala Harris said, we're not going to do something specifically only just for Black people. No. So for all of y'all still consider voting for these Democrats, that's to tell you something right there. And that's going to continue being the practice. All right. So there's something called the benign and neglect policy. Some of y'all know what that is. Some of y'all don't. In the Moynihan report, there was mentioned in that Moynihan report. Y'all can look up Moynihan. I think it's Moynihan report. In the Moynihan report, it mentions to not say you're going to offer Black people, to specifically not offer Black people anything. Don't specifically say you're going to do this specifically for Blacks, specifically for that. Do this specifically for Blacks, do that specifically for Blacks. It's always to talk in vague terms when it comes to Black people. So in vague terms, I talked about this as well. Using the word minority, the word inclusive, using the word people of color, the disenfranchised, and I have several other words I forget. Doesn't come to me right off the bat. But those are the code words that they use to make you feel and think you're talking about Black people. The disenfranchised, oh, that's Black people. But no, they can say Hispanics are disenfranchised. They can say Asians are disenfranchised. They can say white women are disenfranchised. They can use the word minority. Minority can mean white women. It can mean LGBT. It can mean Asian people. It can be Hispanics. But those are code words to make you think they're talking about specifically black people, right? And so, yeah, that's the games they play, and that's how they get down. That's how the Democratic ops and this Biden administration gets down. Now, there seems to be, I think Raphael Warnock was asked about that. I think that was a question that was asked in the debate. Either Herschel Walker addressed it to him, or the moderators asked Raphael Warnock about Biden. And all he had to say was something to the effect, well, if Biden is running for in 2024, will you support him? And Raphael Warnock couldn't even answer that. All he had to do was say yes or no. He stumbled around that. He came up with a speech instead of just saying yes or no. I think he mentioned something about, well, I'm just going to be concerned with this midterm. That's a scripted response. That response is scripted. If he's a Democrat and if Biden's running, I'm sure they should, or at least I would think they want to support for him running again. But that can also say a couple of things. Also to say that he's not confident about Biden, and there might be other people feeling the same way about him running in 2024, especially if a lot of black people continue to grow in their awakening about things not being done for them. You might find that Biden might not win. So that might be a reason why he didn't want to answer. But you would think if you were a Democrat, you would support your own Democrat. You rolling hard and being a puppet, Raphael Warnock, N-O-T, I call him Warnock instead of Warnock. You would think you would support your people. You're all in the same party, right? It's kind of weird. Let me see if I can find another video here. Oh, here's a video I'm gonna play. And we'll talk about this in a sec. Let me just roll this video.
Come on. But this is what I mean. This is what I mean. I mean, we're having a conversation. Hold on a minute. Listen, everybody. Hey, y'all up there, pay attention. Here's what happens. Listen.
They overtalked him so hard. He thought he was going to do his same antics he used to do when he was president or running for president. Where you could do that. Hey, wait a minute. Whoa. And that was supposed to kind of shut everybody down and get his attention. Even Obama ain't getting no respect anymore. And speaking about Obama, when he was president, he did nothing for black people as well. And a lot of black people get mad about that. When a lot of black people were getting shot up, being unarmed and being killed unnecessarily, he did nothing for them, but he put things in place for LGBT and the Hispanics and stuff like that. Ain't that interesting? And now he's been brought out, or he was brought out, because Raphael Warnock, Stacey Abrams, and maybe a few other folks wasn't doing too well. So they thought about bringing him out and trying to gain some traction and have him talk and give speeches for these people in hopes of increasing votes. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? And so, again, like I said, we're talking about the Democratic ops, the Biden administration. This is how they get down. They do not care for black folks. They doing everything they can to care for everybody else. And speaking on the immigrants, allowing them in, Biden, I've talked about this before, and some of you guys know about this, the so-called leaked Zoom meeting when Biden specifically said, I wish I had that video, but it's out there. You can go and type in Biden's leaked Zoom video, and then you can type the word intercept after that, and you'll find that it'll probably be a lot blurrier from when it used to be clear. But he specifically said that, quote, America is doomed. America is doomed. And he said this right after that. Not only because of black people. So he's saying black people are going to be one of the reasons why they're going to be doomed. But not only because of black people, but because by 2040 or 2043, I forget what year he mentioned, 2040 or 2043, they're not going to be, the white population is going to be going down. So that's why America's doomed, because there's not going to be enough white people to run the country, basically, without him saying that directly. It's not going to be enough white people in charge. Their numbers are dwindling. The population of white people in America is dwindling. And because of black people. I mean, he literally said that in the Zoom speech. And you still voting for this clown. On top of that, you can't forget the 1984 and the 94 bills that he was involved in putting in. And of course, Hillary Clinton got down with that, was down with that. Right? Also, we got to look at the anti-Asian crime bill that people claim up and down is for everybody, but it's specifically named Asian people in that bill. It didn't name black people in that bill that Raphael Warnock was down with, and I think Stacey Abrams might have been down with it too. And a whole host of other folks, were down with it. But yet, this is who y'all voting for. Y'all voting for the blue no matter who, folks. The same people that's going to still do you dirty after this midterm is over if you voted for them to be in. And then there's always this question about people saying, oh, you talking against them, you for the Republicans. That sounds like a immature, really goofy comment to be making. It's like you have the people who say that have no brains, have no analytical thinking skills, or critical thinking skills, some people call it. I say it's analytical thinking skills. Sometimes I use critical thinking. You're just analyzing what's going on. You're looking at things, analyzing them, gathering information, getting the facts, and you're making better informed decisions, or you're just being an analytically observing, and you're seeing what's going on. But yet people will try to shame you, try to make you feel bad and call you, oh, you're a Republican. How are you a Republican when you just thinking analytically by looking at what's going on, you seeing what's going on. You might be doing some research on policies, you finding out what that is, what this person is about, what that person is about, and you're finding that they're not about black folks, they're about everybody else. Just like I talked about Warnock, how he was in agreement about this anti-Asian crime law or bill, how you want to call it, when the FBI's own report, this is from the FBI itself, from the federal law enforcement themselves, saying that it's black people in America that are the number one most hated. So if they are the number one most hated, if black people, including myself being a black American, descendant of an American slave, if we are the number one most hated every single year, why isn't there an anti-hate crimes bill for black Americans? if we are number one on the federal law enforcement list as the most hated and have been since for the last 20 years. I did a episode on that. You guys can go back to that one. I did a podcast episode on that, revealing that. If we are the most hated, and it shows in actions that were taken against us, prove that, why is it that we're not getting an anti-black hate crimes bill? Why is that? But ladies and gentlemen who are voting today for these folks, voting for the blue folks, this is how they feel about you. And to the old folks who might end up listening to this, to the 70s and 80s and up, some 60s, 65s and up, just consider your grandchildren. Stop being programmed or trained into voting blue because you've been so programmed for years and trained for years to believe that's the way to go. Consider your grandchildren. Consider the things they're doing now and how that affects your and how it will affect your grandchildren. They're doing everything for everybody else. They're already made black people in America a permanent underclass. Shout out to Claude Anderson, Dr. Claude Anderson. He predicted that based off of information received years ago. And he spoke about the Hispanics coming to this country, and it all came true. It all came true. He brought facts to the game. Everything he mentioned in all those old videos Dr. Claude Anderson did, it's happening, and it happened, and it's happening now. He said the Hispanics will be over here and overflood us. We used to be the number 2 in America. It used to be white people and black people. And then we moved down to number 3. And then now we moved down because the Asians, I think, put us in the 3 spot, and Hispanics gonna put us in the 4 spot. We're gonna be a number 4 in America. And locked in as a permanent underclass. And just like he said, if they didn't do anything for black folks way back then, what you think they're gonna do for us now? And so to the elders, I'd say elders, but the olders, because elders are supposed to signify you have some type of wisdom, knowledge, and you make good judgments, good decisions. You see things like what I'm talking about. So a lot of folks ain't elders like that. So there's a lot of old folks, the old civil rights generations. If you end up listening to this, consider your grandchildren. What's going to happen if you continue voting for these people who don't give a damn about you and your grandchildren? What's going to happen to them when they get older? You're going to allow them to fend for themselves because you decided to continue to vote for these folks that don't care about you? That's real messed up for them to look back and say, well, my grandma and grandpa didn't even look out for me. They voted for these people that hated them. And it's trickling down to us now. That's real crazy. That's real goofy. Real goofy. Let me see if I find another video. So, again, you're gonna see how it goes down. Let me try another. Here's another video right here. Let's play this one.
Do you believe that black people should receive reparations?
I believe African Americans and Native Americans are entitled to reparations. We are.
All right, I'm gonna stop it there, and I'm gonna play it again in a minute. You see how she flipped African Americans and Native Americans. They don't want to do anything specifically for black people. And I already told you the quote unquote Native Americans, there's somebody who already posted their tweet stating that Native Americans already get money every year. That's their reparations. They get money already every year. So why is Stacey Abrams saying to add the Native Americans in it? They already get money every year. They're good. So again, Stacey Abrams, why are you continuing to want to give Native Americans, add them into the reparations? They're not the ones that were hanging from trees, that had wires put in their butts and through their mouths and put out their anuses and lit on fire. It was black people they were doing that to, not Native Americans. It was black people they were cutting the men's balls off and making it a trophy. It wasn't Native Americans they did that to. So Stacey Abrams, why are you continuing to put reparations and add Native Americans in the mix to reparations? Why? This is why you're going to lose from being governor in Georgia. It's stuff like that. Let me play the video in full.
Do you believe that black people should receive reparations?
I believe African Americans, African Americans and Native Americans are entitled to reparations. We are the two communities who were legally disenfranchised from the inception of this country, and we are the two communities who had legal structures that were put in place for such a long period of time that our ability to achieve and access opportunity at a level that was commensurate with the rest of America was just not available.
Lies, all lies. Disenfranchised. That's another word. I think I mentioned that earlier. They want to use these code words, and see, that's my point right there. That proved my point when I was speaking earlier. They use these code words to make you think it's black people, and she already proved my point. She used disenfranchised and added black and Native Americans. So they might even mean, they could so-called say or make it look like they mean black, but they also gonna mean everybody else. And a lot of times not really mean black. They just using the word because it gives you that feel that you're talking about, oh, they're gonna do something just for us, just for black people, right? So even in that video, is game in it. And again, like I said, there's a Native American who came out and blew the whistle saying, look, Native Americans already get money every year. So they're getting their reparations every year. So why Stacey Abrams again, and those who are going to be voting for her, and all those who are just voting Democrat, there's your Democrat right there. You can look up the stuff I'm telling you. Why are you adding Native Americans into something they already get every year? They already get it. Right? Let's go on and see what else we can find here. Some of this stuff might just be goofy videos, but we're going to play them anyway.
That Hispanic history is American history. It's American history.
What did he say? What did Biden say? Whoa, let's play that one again.
That Hispanic history is American history. It's American history. As a matter of fact, as they say now, y'all were here before we were.
Whoa, Hispanics were here before we were, meaning white people were. Black people were there before them, and white people. Why didn't he say that? I'm curious. So why didn't Biden mention black people? This is who y'all considering voting for in 2024? Let me play that one more time for y'all.
that Hispanic history is American history. It's American history. As a matter of fact, as they say now, y'all were here before we were.
Wow. Wow. Really, Biden? Is this how you get down? You see, he's caping for Hispanics. And when I'm saying all this, this ain't saying like I hate them and I hate all these other groups. That's not saying that at all. But we got to be real about this, man. We can't be under no illusions. It ain't about hating Jews, Hispanics, Afghans. It's about what's right. You know what's right, and you doing people wrong, and you know you're doing them wrong, and that's effed up, and you know that's effed up, and you continue to do it, and black folks continue to support you like dummies. I'm gonna say it. Black folks continue to support these people, and he's showing y'all in y'all face what he think about you. One more time, he gonna show you what he think about you. This is for y'all voting for him.
That Hispanic history is American history. It's American history. As a matter of fact, as they say now, y'all were here before we were.
Look at that goofy smile on his face. Yeah, y'all were here before we were. He got that the Jughead smile. Remember that old cartoon? Jughead? Or what's the other dude's name? Howdy Doody. Remember Howdy Doody? It's Howdy Doody time. He got the Howdy Doody laugh. This is who y'all voting for, and the people who he represents, the other Democrats he rocks with. All right, let me see what this video is about right quick.
And so I was sort of raised in the Puerto Rican community at home politically. And so we came here for a long time, both for business and pleasure, since you're part of the Third Circuit Court.
He going hard for the Hispanics, boy, I'm telling you. Everything he said in that Zoom meeting speech, he told you right then and there how is it going to go down and what this U.S. is going to be about. And the sad thing about that is that even though he's allowing people to come across the border, but I think Kamala was supposed to be the border czar, and ain't done a damn thing about the border, if I'm not mistaken. The funny thing about that is that a lot of these Hispanics really have a Republican mindset, and they really cape for voting for Republicans. That's been proven with those votes when Trump was in office. Guess who voted for Trump? A lot of Hispanic people voted for Trump, and Trump was running as a Republican, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of people voted Republican. A lot of Hispanics voted Republican. So what's so sad, and it might not be sad, it might be a good strategy that they're doing. They're allowing all these people to come over from the border illegally, make all their numbers come up, and then there'll be more millions of them than there are black people. There'll be more of them than black people in the millions. And even though they might vote more on the Republican side, the whole point is they're overcoming more populated than the blacks. If they continue allowing them coming over and building and building and building, there'll be more of them than black people. So it still might be a win-win for Biden anyway, and his Democratic ops for allowing that to happen. And what's so sad about that is that a lot of these black Democrats, I know they see what's going on. I know they know what's going on, and none of them have the balls to stand up and do anything about it, say anything about it publicly, try to vote against all that stuff, not knowing the damage that they're causing by allowing illegal immigrants into the country. And again, this ain't about hating them. It's about knowing what's going on, you knowing the chessboard play, you see the game that's going down, and you know in your spirit it's not right. You know it's not right. But black folks, this is how y'all gonna roll. Some of y'all, again, like I said, there's a lot of others that are waking up. So let's check out this video here, see what this going on. Let me see what this is about.
Let me start off with 2 words. Made in America. Made in America.
Okay, that's nothing. I think he might have been at some auto place, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But that's your boy Biden. That's your boy Brandon. And all the Democratic ops follow his lead. They puppeteer for him. That's how they get down. Let's check out this video real quick, see what this is about.
What's up, y'all? It's Martin Lawrence. Michelle Obama and I want you to vote loud this November. We teamed up to ask all you HBCU students out there to sign up to get your campus involved in voting this midterm. Help get your community registered to vote. The election is only a couple of weeks away. See you at the polls. Peace.
All right, I'm gonna cut that off. They even got Martin Lawrence. They even got him to coon out. And that's another thing to speak on. A lot of these black celebrities, entertainers, athletes, actors, actresses, they got them too. They got them on the coon train. And when I seen that video, I think it was posted on Martin Lawrence's Twitter page. I sent them a response back, but of course, most times, you know, they're not gonna respond back. But I sent them a response like, "Yo, vote for who? Vote for what?" And then breaking down the fact that by doing so, we got nothing, and everybody else got something. But of course, I didn't get a response back. So they're getting black people too. A lot of y'all black folks are in the coon gang. And there's a lot of people, black folks in the coon gang. Kerry Washington, Martin Lawrence, Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, LeBron James, Jalen Rose, Shannon Sharp. There's a whole bunch of them on the coon gang. But this is the people you pay attention to, you follow them, you rock with them. I consider all of them Democratic ops as well. So not only do they have the Democratic ops who are in the government, they got the entertainers, the athletes, singers, actors, dancers. There's a group of them too that's in the Democratic ops as well. He said him and Michelle Obama's urging the school age, the college school age students to register and vote. And they never tell what you never hear, and you always got to listen to what you hear, and also look at, this is back to analytical thinking. Listen to what they say and what they're not saying. What they're not saying is vote for what? They're not saying whatever specific policies this person or that person has. Notice how they're not telling that. They're not speaking on that. So it's things they are saying and things they are not saying. Right? They're interested in, there's things they're saying and things they're not saying. Point blank, period. It's kind of interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's see what this video is right quick.
As one nation,
but joy cometh
Come
in the
on,
morning.
Joe.
We will get through this.
We gonna get through this together, y'all.
Together.
This chick is crying. That's Eva, forget her last name, but y'all know who that is, the model, or I don't know if she's still modeling. I forget how to pronounce her last name. But she out there crying for this dude. Then of course you got Vivica Fox. She was caping for Biden when he ran. And she out here running, she got the nerve to run her mouth about everything else, other subjects, and caping for this dude and what the Democrats stand for. Let's play this again.
As one nation, but joy cometh
Come
in the
on,
morning.
Joe.
We will get through this.
We gonna get through this together, y'all.
Together.
Yo, what's going on? They grab a lot of black people because they're trying to gather the black vote. Kerry Washington is another one. There's videos out with her with Stacey Abrams. I think she in the video sometime dancing and caping and singing and all that stuff. So they get the black men and the black women. And some of y'all follow that. And don't even think. You're not being analytical, or you're just simply not examining things. Some of y'all, not everybody. You're not being analytical observers. And some people gonna get tricked again. And whether I do a news, I probably won't be doing it. I don't know if I'm gonna do a live on the news channel, but I'm gonna be watching and checking out the current results, and then kind of following that. Who knows? I may go live. Who knows? Or I might listen to other people's lives and just gather the intel and do some thinking and analytically examine these things that's coming in. I'm curious on how this Herschel Walker, Raphael Warnock's going to go down, the Stacey Abrams and Kemp going down. I really don't think I give my predictions right now. I don't think Stacey Abrams is going to win it. This is what I really think. I think that Raphael Warnock and that Herschel Walker is going to be tight. I think I'm not sure if it's super close. I think do they do a runoff? I'm not sure about that, how that works in the midterm. But if that's the case, I think it might turn into them having to do a runoff, if that's even a thing. Or unfortunately, I don't know. I could be wrong though. I don't even want to say that. Not that I'm caping for Herschel. I ain't feeling him either. It's just kind of funny and interesting that he's got so many people wanting to get down for voting for him, that is making them, the Democrats and Raphael Warnock, super nervous to the point that they had to employ Barack Obama to help him out. He couldn't do it on his own. That's the interesting part of that. So I think it's going to be either super close. If there's a runoff attached to that, it might be a runoff. They might have to try to do a little bit extra and continue it down the line. I was going to say that Warnock might win, and might win very super slightly, just by points. But one thing I will say, it will be super close. I definitely say that. It will be super close. It will be super close. And who knows, Herschel might actually take it. It might be that close till it gets to that point. It might just be that close to where it gets to that point. You know what I'm saying? You guys excuse me for just a second. I'm still here. I'm checking a message that just came in. I hate things where people try to put something, and so you kind of pressure to hurry up and respond. I don't like that. And whenever I'm starting to learn that whenever it gets to that point that it almost makes me like, nah, I'm gonna back out, because if you're not giving me enough time to look at things and consider, and it's like hurry up and do this, hurry up, do that, then I don't want to do it. If you know what I'm talking about. If you understand where I'm coming from, I should say. Right? All right, so I'm just taking a look at that real quick. All right, there we go. I can look back at that in a little while. So, yeah. You got old girl crying.
As one nation. But joy cometh in the
Come on,
morning.
Joe.
We will get through this.
We gonna get through this together, y'all.
Together.
Or she was pretending to be crying, you know, putting on a good front, wiping her face like tears were down there. Let's check out this video.
Okay, now let's get on with it, because I know you're a very busy man.
Thank you. Oh, don't swing at it. Don't swing it.
All right, I'm gonna play that here in a second. This is one of the good videos, so I'm gonna hold that off right quick. That was a good interview of that little girl. They had the FBA reparations rally this past Saturday, and that girl did a good interview of our homie Marcel Dixon. So that was a good interview. I'm gonna hold that off for a sec. And here's another video you might be familiar with, and we'll come back to the other one in a little bit.
Sees you, Miss Hillary. I love you, Miss Hillary. Welcome to TV1. Oh Lord. I dance with Nancy. I dance with Massa. I dance with Massa. I dance with Nancy. I dance with Massa. I dance with Nancy. I dance with Massa. I dance with Nancy. I dance with Massa. Welcome to TV1.
That's your own good old Rolly, the Boule Bird, Roland Martin. The dusty corn on the cob, Roland Martin. You see how he was doing caper for Hillary Clinton? He got to dance and buck dance to get some butter biscuits. And he's another one I need to add to the Coon Gang and the Democratic Ops. Roland Martin. Look, all these black folks, man, trying to convince other black folks. But again, like I said, be analytical, have a analytically observe, analytical observation. He's doing all that dancing, but they not telling you what to vote, what are their policies, why you're voting. It's just vote. So I can get some money for getting y'all to vote. And then in the meantime, 2 or 3 months down the road, they're going to give money to more Afghan people. You see? Let's check out this next video.
All right, listen, okay, listen.
There's your Democrat. This is how they get down.
All right, listen, okay, listen.
Wow. Let's check out this next one here. Let's see what this is about here. Look at all them black folks. Look at all them black faces. I think that was for Warnock. The support for Warnock. Wow. Let's check out this one.
Damn right. Damn right. And we survived. And we're resilient.
Okay, that's part of the reparations rally for foundational Black Americans. I'm going to go ahead and play that. I think I got everything else I played. You know, so I'm going to play that one. I don't know. I thought I was going to stay on here longer, but I might not. Might not be on here that much longer. So I think you got the point and get what's going on and understand the Democratic ops, understand the plays that they're they're putting in effect. So I think y'all guys got it. So we're gonna play this one, and then I'm gonna play the other one. I guess we make that one the last one. I was gonna just upload more videos and play them, but I think it might be unnecessary, and I think you guys get the point. And we'll see who wins tonight. So let's play this one first from the FBA rally for reparations this past Saturday.
Damn right. Damn right. And we survived. And we're resilient. And we're improvisational. We are the most creative, athletic, intelligent, artistic, creative, loving, kind. Who are we? We're freed men. Foundational Black Americans. So what I want you guys to take away from this today, this is like a recalibration of who we are. This movement is beautiful. I don't think it's been since 1965, since the Civil Rights Movement. This is a humanitarian movement. This is the first time that we put ourselves first.
And there you go. That's what we need to do, is put ourselves first. We put everybody else first all the time. Black Americans have always caped for other races of people throughout hundreds of years. And now it's time that we put ourselves first. It's that simple. It's that time now. We've caped for everybody. We fought for the rights of other ethnicities. We've even in wars of old, there's a man who a black man, a black soldier from, I think from American Army, I forget which branch of the military. He even went to help the Philippines fight in support for them and take care of them. So we look out for everybody. Black Americans, descendants of American slaves, foundational Black Americans, freedmen. We looked after and looked out for all types of people, all ethnicities, Asians, African people. We fought for people here. We fought in every war that ever was in America. Been slaves and we built this country. We came up with inventions that got stolen, and the slave masters patented the inventions as if they created the inventions and didn't. Like she said, that was Connie. She said that we are creative, intelligent, and that shows through history. If you study history in America, you have so many black intelligent people. There was black people that went to court and represented themselves and won. That's intelligence. We had creative black people that created inventions, some that we still out here using today, that came from black people, from food, from mechanical devices, so on and so forth, you name it, was because of us. And to not give us nothing for it is high level disrespect. And like she said, it's time to look out for ourselves. And when people hear that, they go, oh, you being racist. Oh, you being divisive because you want to do something for your own people. Well, the Jews do it. The Jews look out for their own people, and you're not calling them divisive. You're not calling them prejudiced or racial. Every group looks out for their own. Hispanics, I've seen it. And I'm sure you've seen it. You might not be paying attention to it, but they look out for their own first. We are the only ones that get told not to look out for ourselves. That's because everybody has a fear of us doing that. They're having certain thoughts and visuals in their head. If they start looking out for themselves, we are in trouble because they're going to do this, that, and the other. That's what it's all about, fear. You're afraid that you think we're going to do something back to y'all and to all other people because of what we have suffered for over 400 years. That's what it boils down to. And you're scared. But if you're so scared, Somebody should have thought about that hundreds of years ago, but no one didn't. And so it's that time now that we look out for ourselves. It's just that simple, man. It's just that simple. And by doing that doesn't mean we hate other groups. That's another thing. They try to put you in a trick bag and mentally make you feel bad about yourself or feel bad about you wanting to look out for your own people. Again, the Jewish people look out for themselves. They look out for Jewish people. The Asians look out for themselves. You know, they go to Chinatown and show me where they hired a black person to work on any of them restaurants. Go anywhere, Chinatown or anywhere, and show me where Asians are buying black people's products. Oh, I guess you probably won't be able to find that. That's because they look out for themselves, and nobody's mad about that. But whether you get mad, you like it or dislike it, now you're going to have to deal with it, because there's now a bunch of black folks who are waking up. They understand it's time to look out for ourselves. And the more and more it gets broadcasted and the more and more it gets known, a lot of other black people are going to start coming too. The same way when it came from Obama running for president. Remember? A lot of black people are feeling like, oh, nah, they're going to kill that black man because you thought he was black, and he's not. He's not a black American. He's part African, so he's in part immigrant and has some white in his family. So he's not even a black American. And that's probably what people were saying, he wasn't black enough. But he showed it that he wasn't when he was president, because he ain't do nothing for black folks when they was getting their heads bashed in and getting blown away to bits. So he showed you what everybody was saying. He wasn't black because he wasn't looking out for black. He looked out for everybody else. Right? So it's a must that black people look out for themselves and start doing for self. I guess that's the only way we're going to get respect and, you know, fight. And we always fought. We always fighting. We were always warriors. Black Americans always fought for stuff. We stood up. While other immigrants, everybody's fleeing. Even now, you can look at it. The Hispanics are fleeing their countries instead of building up their country. Right? Everybody flees to come here. If everybody's so intelligent and they this and they that, which I'm even speaking of the blacks in the Caribbean and the blacks in Africa, if they all have something negative to say about black Americans, why do they all leave from where they come from and they come here where the black Americans are at, that where the black Americans built up everything? Why do they do that? Right? If you so much all that, stay in your own country and make your own country fly and beautiful. Build up your own country like the black Americans built the U.S. It's that simple. That simple. Well, anyway, let me go on and play this last video here. A very nice interview by a young girl here. And we're going to get out of here, man. So let's roll that. This is an interview. I don't know the girl's name, but she's interviewing Greg Marcel Dixon. We all know him as Marcel, who's going to be running in 2024 again to try to get in the District 6 of South Carolina. And we all support Marcel, me included. So here's this interview.
Okay, now let's get on with it, because I know you're a very good fan.
Thank you. Oh, don't swing at it. Don't swing at it. Don't swing at it. Okay.
I'm sorry about that. Something was going on with this. It's a real quick interview. It's about 1 minute, 30 seconds. So let's roll that.
Okay, now let's get on with it, because I know you're a very good fan.
Thank you. Oh, don't swing at it. Don't swing at it. Don't swing at it. Okay. Well, 40 acres means to me the broken promise and the debt that this nation still owes to the descendants of American slaves. It's not about getting rid of racism. It would be great if that happened. It's simply that this nation owes us a debt. We were never able to inherit our wealth. Anyone who argues against us getting reparations is arguing against all these millions and millions of people who inherit houses and cars and land all the time. We inherited the debt, and they need to pay it.
Absolutely. I agree. and I think it should be now. Now, okay, one more question.
Okay.
You ready for this?
Yes.
Fellas, what are some other strategies that you think we can use to demand reparations?
The main strategy that we need to use that we have not is more of us need to run for office. That's the only way. It don't matter if we get 1 vote or we get 1 million. When these politicians who are in office, when they have to defend themselves against our platform, other people hear the message and other people start to support the message. That's how movements grow. So we should have candidates running throughout the whole nation all the time. It's federal level on the way down.
Absolutely. But do you think we should make our own government system? Or tell me more about that.
I think the government system we have now can work. We just got to take over the system.
Absolutely. I agree. Take it over. Okay.
That's right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Marcel.
Thank you.
Best wishes.
And by the way, Marcel has said this previously in Twitter Spaces and other places. He said, he says that he's gay, but he's not down with the LGBT things that go on with them, and he's down for reparations. That's going to be part of his campaign, along with some other things that a lot of us rock with. And me being a straight black man, I support this dude because he's thorough and he keeps it real, and he's for specific policies and specific issues that I support and other black people support. So for that thing that some people try to throw out there that black people don't like gay and they have this and that for against gay people, well, Marcel is gay and he said that he's gay before, so it's nothing that I'm putting out there that's a secret. He's already mentioned him being that way. All right, so I think that's all, man. That's gonna be it. The dog's out here barking, and we'll find out what's going on in these midterms here in a little bit. I'm gonna get ready to go in and start watching a few news outlets and see how it goes down, man. So appreciate y'all. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for watching me live. For those who are watching, for those who are going to be checking out the replay, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's build up these subscription numbers, because this channel has been one of the shadow banned channels. And I spoke about that. So I'm not even going to get into a whole nother 2 or 3 hour rant on that. You know how it goes down. Tell your people about this channel. Tell other people to come support, subscribe to this channel, man. Let's blow this channel up. Let's get a whole bunch of subscribers. Let's get 300 subscribers. All right. And then we'll go from there about the next 300. All right. So I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for coming in. You know what it is. You rocking with the best Thoughts of the Week podcast. I'm gone. Peace.
Thank you.